Hello, good evening, and welcome to the top 10 countdown of the enlistment photos for the Hunt 4. We had 65 legal entries based on the deadline that actually qualified for judging, and just to be very clear, this was a very difficult process for us. That's part of the reason why I will be hastily filming and editing this video to get out to you tonight at some point. We realized that there are a lot of different ways to interpret the best photo, and your ballot suggested that. And that's the best part, really, that we had so many great entries that it was really hard to pick even just 10 of them, much less number one. So as I'm going through this countdown, as a reminder, all of your posts were fantastic, and for those that maybe didn't see themselves in this list, just know that's just a couple of us using a calculated matrix of the criteria that we put up on the Blitz course. So just know that we value every entry, and we're excited to see what other posts you bring this week. So for all of the entries that were turned in by the deadline and that satisfied the challenge, we wanted to look at 4 criteria: the originality, the depth of the message, the impact, and the aesthetics. And by calculating those things together across our judges, we were able to come up with our final 10. As a note, there were some animations or videos that were sent in as submissions, and we did count those. In fact, we gave you a little bit of bonus points for originality by choosing to use that. However, the prompt did ask for a photo or a picture, and so we weren't able to really take into account the entirety of your animation or video when we were judging. So without further ado, let's get into the top 10 countdown for the Hunt 4. And to let you know what's really up at stake, every single person that appears on this list will earn their team 1 victory point. So getting onto this top 10 list, that is a victory point for your team, and we'll give out victory points for those of you who had the best ballots in a second. Here we go. Number 10 was Annie Mathis from the Earth Kingdom. It is really cool to see this iconic landmark being used in the most earthy fashion possible, so thank you for that entry. Number 9 was Jess Conway, whose air post talked a little bit about the necessities and values of life. And I love your writing, Jess. Thanks for contributing that. Number 8 goes to the Fire Nation with David Humphrey. This type of hellfire landscape is really what we strive to achieve in the Hunt, so thank you for your originality with that. For number 7, we have to go to the temples of the air nomads, because there you will find a wild Kyle Cooper sporting his attire as the next avatar. For number 6, we have Courtney from the Water Tribe. Thank you for your inspiring words and awesome visuals. We are glad to have you on this list. For number 5, let's bring out some practical effects with Mark Gonzalez of the Fire Nation. Man, I do not have the guts that you do to pull off a stunt like that. You deserve to be in our top 5. For number 4, let's give credit to the Earth Kingdom's Joey for his entry, as he has taken on the armor plating of a true Earth Bender. For number 3, hats off to the captain of the Water Tribe, as the chiefess, Maggie Malone, shows her stuff and her storytelling. Waterbending has never looked so great. Now for number 2, I am happy to give this credit to one of the members of the Air Nomads that I am happy to see this year, because I can only imagine what she will be able to bring to the table for the Hunt 4. It's Paige Lovejoy. And finally, number 1, he's got the skills, he's got the concentration, but best of all, he's got the control. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the top 10 is KJ Smith with his earth-bending photo, and that rounds out the top 10 of our enlistments for the Hunt 4. And just to be clear, the reason why we are showing all of the 24 finalists is just to give a shout out to those who really did a great job. And to be honest, all of you did. We had to use some number wishy-washy calculation judge panel stuff just to make sure we could actually get down to 10. But let's find out which of you had the ballots that were most similar to ours. Now I need to give you full honesty here. We were intending on having it be based on the number of exact picks, but we weren't expecting that so many people would have so many great entries that it would make making a top 10 almost impossible. People had so many different votes that if they ever got an exact pick, they only got 1 or 2. And so with a 7-way tie, it was really difficult for us to give out those 3 victory points. Instead, we switched to this method, which makes a lot more sense if you ask me. We looked at how many of our top 10 you were able to get. And based on that number, we were able to come up with 3 winners. Only 2 people were able to correctly guess 7 out of our top 10, which, if you ask me, is really impressive. So, the first 2 victory points will be given to Ayla Defada of the Earth Kingdom and Ben Heil of the Water Tribe. Now after that, there was actually a tie of 3 people who all got 6 correct. And based on that, we had to go a little further and find out how accurate each of those 6 were to the placements of those 6 people. Based on a calculation from those, we found that the most accurate third ballot and the final recipient of a victory point is Denton Wood of the Air Nomads. Okay, so we are giving out all the victory points, and you'll be able to see the top 10 in an album that I'll be releasing in a second, but the point of all of this was just to get excited. All of you clearly have creative abilities and potential for this week, and so now that I've seen it, I think I'll have a few more interesting challenges up my sleeve to be able to give to all of you this week. Thank you so much for not only participating, but voting on each other's posts, for being encouraging and thinking about all these amazingly creative things we can do. My only job is to try to facilitate that in the best way I can. So if you have any questions or concerns, always feel free to let me know. This week is going to be a reflection of that creative energy put to the test. So this has been the Top 10 Countdown with Nathan, your Lion Turtle, and I am excited for this week. So thank you all, and you will see your posts for the challenges for day 1 at 8 a.m. Central Time in the morning. Good luck, and may the best creative energies of the universe be bestowed upon you. Yeah, I'll probably use that take.